everyone, welcome to day 2 of this 6 days Blender bootcamp. However, this bootcamp is 3 days in English and 3 days in Konkani. Okay, so a total of it makes it 6 days bootcamp. We are already done with day 1 of the bootcamp. For those who were not there on the day 1 of the boot camp, I introduce myself as Megha Nayak. I'm working for Project Management Unit, Directorate of Technical Education. I'm working for the Coding and Robotics Education in Schools scheme. So, welcome to day 2 of this boot camp. It's a Blender based creative design thinking competition, and we are prepping you for a national level competition which is called as Blender Nationthon. So, quick question for all those who attended day 1 of the boot camp. How many of you attended this boot camp on day 1? If you guys attended this competition prep boot camp on day 1, please type yes in the chat box. I shall be waiting to see your answers. It would be very interesting to also know what were the new things you learned during day 1 of the boot camp. Wow, so many answers coming in. That's amazing. Great. Good going, good going. I'll hang on for a few seconds. This is fantabulous response. So many chats, so many responses. Great. Thank you so much. Okay, now I have one more question for all of y'all. All of y'all who tried Blender, I have one quick question. Do you think Blender is open source? Was it free for download? How many of you guys downloaded it? Was it open source? Please type in the chat box. Cool, cool. Let me just hang in there to see all the answers coming in. That's amazing. Okay, so another question coming in for y'all. How many of you downloaded Blender and tried something fun? How many of you downloaded Blender and tried something fun? Post your queries, post your answers in the chat box. Post your answers in the chat box. Come on, let me see. That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, let's get going ahead. So on the day 1 of the session, we connected with an expert, right? The expert we connected with was Sir Sean Kenneth Fernandez, and he was the CEO of Creative Jewels, and he shared with us the knowledge of how Blender would pave our path ahead in the animation field, sculpting, creating 3D models, and how gaining a skill in Blender is something really cool and fun and helps in shaping the career. Let us also recap with something that we learned. Okay, on day 1 we saw the awareness of a tool named Blender. I'm not sure how many of y'all must have heard of it prior to this boot camp, but I'm sure all those who attended the boot camp now know of it. Most of y'all have also got familiarized with the look and feel of the Blender interface. Y'all know what all is there when you open Blender and you check it out. Okay, so that was also shown to y'all on day 1 of the boot camp. And finally, y'all saw a small cube, right? When you open the interface, you see a small cube and you learned how to rotate the cube, how to scale the cube, and how to translate the cube. So I believe y'all have tried all this. So one quick recap. Okay, so whenever you download Blender, you'll get the interface of Blender. So the interface of Blender, all right, right on top you see the menu bar. On the left hand side you see something called as toolbox, wherever you can do your translation, rotation, scaling. I'm focusing on that because that's what you've done. Okay, that's called your 3D viewport. Then you have your object mode, and you have your object outliner, and you have your properties panel. Okay, however, let me just tell you that whenever you open up Blender, by default you are always going to launch some object. That object is always going to be called as your default cube. And some three most common Blender objects, they are your default cube, they are your camera, they are your light. It's all there on your Blender interface. However, you have been familiarized only to the default cube. You have also maybe tried using Shift A on your keyboard, right? You can have a mesh object created in that particular way. Also, on the toolbox you have certain commands, okay, to move, rotate, scale. There are shortcuts for them, and it's easier to use the shortcuts. I'm sure all you kids are into the gaming zone, the gaming mode, and you all are very quick with the shortcuts. So you have shortcut commands like G, R, S. All right, so get a hang of all of this and let's move ahead. For those of you who still had issues installing and downloading Blender, all right, you can go on Google and Google up download Blender. All right, you can put it there in your search bar. You can say download Blender. All right, when you say this, you'll get this option. All right, click on it, right? Click on it. Once you click on it, you get a whole lot of things. You can click on this Blender, the first one, all right, and whichever is your operating system, download that particular one and try your hands on it. Do your first day one of bootcamp if you haven't yet done, and let's see what magic you can do. So stay tuned for what's coming in next. Thank you. So during the conduct of the boot camp, we had asked all the kids or the viewers of the boot camp to send in their creativities by logging into our Cares Goa portal and clicking on the form, the Google form we have created, and submit their creativities. So many of them have submitted their creativities, and they are outstanding creativities. I'll just run you through some of them. Just have a look at the creativities coming from the kids. They're kids from standard 6, standard 7, standard 8, standard 9. All right, so just have a look at all the creativities and you will be amazed. They are absolutely stunning. Let's go through it. So what do you all have to say about the creativities come in? All this has come in by students by learning day one of the boot camp. Type whatever you feel in the chat box, alright? So without wasting much time, let us now connect with our expert for today, alright? So I have you connected with the expert for today, and the expert advice and the expert talk soon. Stay tuned.
Hi, I am Shubhra Das. I am a 3D generalist, and I'm going to talk to you about Blender and the future of digital art. and I didn't get a chance to put my phone down anywhere that is giving me a good shot. So I'm going to just hold it in my hand and talk to you guys. So it makes me feel a bit more connected to you. All right. So I think all of you already know what Blender is, what the world of 3D art and all that is. Your teachers have already talked to you about that, but let me give you like a perspective so that you can understand how like this thing is actually important, how it's used. So imagine there's a photographer, and now think how he's going to do his job, right? So he has to travel the world. He has to find places. He has to find things that are pleasing to the eye, and then he's going to take a photo of that place, right, or thing, or a video of that thing, right? And then there are certain things that are not in his hands. For example, maybe there's raining. He wanted a sunny day or something like that, so he has to now wait for the weather to be okay. Maybe there's a storm. Maybe there's something that is creating some problems, right? Now imagine there is this blank universe, and you get to put whatever you want inside of that universe. You can change how things work inside of that universe. You get to delete things, you get to add things, you get to move things, and then once you have what you want, you can take a photo of that, you can make a video of that, you can travel inside of it, move around, interact with stuff inside of that. And imagine having that power, right? And through Blender, among other software, you get that blank universe and you get that power to actually create your own stuff, right? It can be real, it can be fake, it can be stylized, it can be cartoon, it can be anything. It is not necessarily limited by the real world. Your imagination is the limit. So imagine the photographer again wants to click a photo of Hogwarts, the fiction place from Harry Potter. That doesn't exist, right? So he can't really click a photo of that. Maybe he wants to do some photography on a different planet, like a alien surface on Mars, right? Or alien itself, right? Now we don't know if it exists or not, right? But for the other person who has the blank universe, he can make his own aliens. He can make his own Mars. He can make his own planets, and then he can just take a photo of it. He can travel to the planet. He can make a video inside of that planet, right? And we, as 3D artists using Blender, among other softwares, get that power to actually create, right? So our imagination is the limit, right? But with great power comes great responsibility, right? And when I was a kid, we didn't have this much awareness about 3D, about digital art in general, right? Back in my days, like, oh, okay, I'm 25 years old, and when I started using all of this 3D software, I was 16 or 17 years old, right? And my parents and peers were not really like aware of what these things are, what they do, and it was still a new thing in India, right? Right. Currently, we have a lot of awareness about what these things are, how these work, and there's a lot of growth and cutting edge technology that is being developed regarding this. Okay. So my parents and few relatives and peers used to always ask me this question, and I'm pretty sure your peers and your parents have also wondered like what, like the same question, right? So the question is there a future with this, right? Is it not something more than just games and pastime and all that, right? So is it sustainable? Is it stable? Is there a career in this field? So we have digital art inside of movies, we have it inside of games, we have it inside of television ads, right? Even like Instagram reels, all sorts of things are like have a part to play with digital art. So like even the movies like Avengers, or like even the Bollywood movies like Robot and Pathan and Fan, they all use digital art, including Blender, among other softwares as well, inside of those industries. So they do provide you a great career. Right, I am working in that in the same industry for the last 6 years, and I have worked on games for the metaverse, like the Facebook metaverse thing. There are other metaverses as well. That is also a growing technology that is coming out. Right? I have worked on cartoons. I have worked on like awareness, social cause movies. I have worked on ad product advertisements. Like I have worked for Godrej, the Godrej Air thing that comes on TV. I have worked on those things. And as you dive deep into this field, you'll know like there is a lot of branches of this field where you can pick and choose your own interest, and you can dive deeper into it. You can become a master of it, or you can choose to create all of it. Like what I do, I'm a 3D generalist. So a generalist is involved in all of the stages of the process. It also has its uses in the science and technology side of things. So, for example, you can create simulations. Like, for example, you can use Blender and other softwares to simulate moon gravity, right? And then you can test out your spaceships to see how they behave inside of the gravity, right? The recent Chandrayaan mission that happened, right? Before they actually went ahead and landed a thing on moon, right? They were involved in simulations inside computers. They created the whole design of the rover, the lander, and they went through multiple changes of how things are going to work. They simulated it, they saw the results and made changes, and all of them are, trust me, not done by just like IT engineers. There are artists involved in there who are working with the design, who are working with the simulations and working with the process. Right? It also has its uses in the architecture industry, designing buildings, designing houses, and in the automotive industry, designing robots, designing biomechanics that perform surgeries on real human beings. They are also required to be designed in 3D before they actually are sent onto like live production, right? So all of these have their hands deep inside into 3D art. So yes, it's a very upcoming and growing field, and you will always find a place for you inside of it. So you don't have to worry. Even with the rise of technologies like AI, you don't have to worry. Your jobs are not going to be taken over by computers. Like when computers itself came about, people did not lose their jobs. There are still people who need to actually tell the computer what to do. Yeah, so I think that answers your questions and concerns. So before I take a leave, I just need to give you like a piece of wisdom that I have in my like personal experience. So if you are willing to dive deep into the art side of things, art schools will only take you so far, right? You need to be dedicated enough to learn things on your own, to experiment, to try it, fail, and then to try again. And eventually, you will have the knowledge to surpass your fears and problems, right? And with the rapid growth of technology these days, it's going to be the future that everything is somehow going to be part of a computer. It is somehow going to be attached to a digital device. So having a knowledge of how these things work is going to be very, very crucial in the future, right? So I'll suggest, if you are interested, if you are looking into that field, go towards computer sciences and integrate this with your knowledge of art, right? That will give you a direct path to the gaming industry, to the scientific research industry, data analysis, AI itself, and among other things. You can go into the VFX side of things. You can always go into the entertainment side of things, right? And this will give you a solid foundation to jumpstart your career with. So that's going to be all for me, right? And if you want to talk to me, you can drop an email. The link is going to be here somewhere. I don't really use social media platforms, kind of a weird thing for me, right? So you can drop me an email and we can get in touch. All right. Thank you. Bye.
So, dear kids and viewers, what was decided to be covered today? Of course, we had mentioned that we would be covering basic animation skill today. We had said that you would be learning basic animations today. So here we are, without wasting any time ahead, learning the basic animations in Blender. Let's get ready. See you there soon.
Hello students, my name is Sania Sayed. I am a computer teacher at Al Madina High School. Welcome to day 2 of the Blender Bootcamp. In the previous class, you had learned about the introduction to Blender, how to download the Blender, the basic shapes that are provided by Blender and how to translate, rotate and scale it. Here, we will be learning today how to merge various objects. How about doing a Christmas tree? In the Christmas tree, basically we have two shapes involved. One is the cylinder, that is the base, and then we have the cones, that is the tree. Here you can see the Blender interface is dark black. So I don't prefer this interface, so how about changing the interface? Let's click on Edit, click on Preferences. So on the left hand side, you can see Themes, just click on that. Here you can see an option called Presets, choose that, and by default, the interface of Blender is dark. So let us choose white. This completely depends upon you. I prefer the white background, which is why I have changed the interface to white. So here you are. This is the by default screen. I was wondering if, how about doing a Christmas tree? So in Christmas tree, there are basically two shapes that you use. One is the stand or the trunk, you can say, that is the cylindrical shape, and then we have the tree on the top, which is morely a conical shape. So let us do that. By default, Blender provides the cube at the center, so we don't require that. So how about deleting that? So you can delete it by right clicking on it and click on delete, or otherwise you can press the X icon or X key on the keyboard. So I click on this and yes, it's deleted. Second, it was already informed in the previous class that to add a shape, like how do you add a shape? You click on Shift A. Can you see there are so many options that you already get? You have mesh, you have curve, you have surface, and the list goes on. So in mesh, I require the cone and I require a cylinder. So I click on Shift A, I require the cylinder. So here we are. You can see it is overlapped. It's one above the other. We had learned that if we press G on the keyboard, it helps you to translate. Translate is moving the shape from left to right or top to bottom. So let's click on G and let's move the shape. Can you see that? As you move your mouse, the shape is moved. So put it on the side and then I click on the cone. So you can see it's highlighted in orange, and then I click on G again and move it to the left. So here we have the two shapes. So let's get the cylinder right in the center. Click over here, G, put it right in the center. So this is the cylinder. So the branch looks pretty fat. So let us make it a little bit thin. So what to do with that? We had already explained that you can scale the figure. So scale makes it either thin or a little fat. So scale, what is the shortcut for scale? Like Shift S. No, it's wrong. It's not Shift S, it's just S. So yes, can we see this? So it's become fat. So we don't want it fat, we want it a little thin. Oh my God. This should be fine. Let's see. So this looks a little small. Let's go a little deeper inside. So yes, we have this. And I want the cone over it to make it a Christmas tree. So let's get this cone. Click on G. Get it right on top of that. So we have the first shape. But this looks very long. So how about reducing the size of the cone? We have S. Click on the figure, sorry. We have G. We have S. Reduce the size. Okay. Let's get a little down. Okay. How about expanding it from the x-axis? Let's try that. Let's S and X. Let's become small. Here you go. Now, how many trees can we place one over the other? So, how about putting two of them? So, how to duplicate it? You either right click and click on duplicate object, that's Shift D. So, here you can see the other one above the other. Okay. You must be wondering that what is the color of the object? It's grey right now. So, yes, we'll come to it. We'll fill in the color as well, but after a little time. So, the second cone is placed over the first. Now, how about the third one? So, again right click and duplicate the object, and I place the third one. So this is the Christmas tree. So just let's have a look at it. So here you can see they have placed the cylinder below and 3 cones one above the other. So let us now check the view. Okay, can you see it? It is not aligned properly. So here we need to align the tree properly. So let us hold the object right in the center. So the cone has to be in the center. So what we do is to translate the object, we click on G, we move the object right in the center. Likewise, select the second cone, click on G, move the center. And here I click on the third cone, press G and move it onto the center. So here we are. That's our Christmas tree. But yes, the Christmas tree is grey in color. So let us now fill the color in the shape. So I click on the cylinder. Okay. Here you can see there is an option of material properties. We click on new. We provide a name to the material, that is tree trunk. Okay. I deselect use nodes and choose the base color. I choose the base color of the cylinder to brown. Looks good. So now we come to the next shape, that is the cone. I select the cone. I click on material properties, new material, give a name to it. Remove the use nodes, select the base color to green. So here we are. Likewise, we do it for the second and the first as well. Use nodes, base color, green. The third cone, new. Provide a name. This tree cone. Deselect the use nodes, base color, that is green. So here we have our Christmas tree. Let us look at how to animate an object. You can see here, by default, Blender provides the cube. How about animating the cube? Let us first switch the view to the Z-axis. So this is the top view. Let's go in. First, we need to add the basic shape, that is the path. We need to provide cube the path. So let us click on Shift A. We can see the curve, and over here we can see something known as a path. Let's click on it. Can you observe there is an orange line in the background? That is the path of the cube. So for a better visual, let's shift the mode from object to edit. Can you see now? So you can see there are 5 dots on the screen. Let us move the path to the right now. Can you see over here on the right hand side there is location? Let us just drag using the mouse towards the right. Here you can see that we have shifted the path towards the right and there are 5 dots. Let us now provide the path to the cube. Click on G. I click on the point. Let's first click on the point. You can see it has become black. Click on G. It is now changed the path. Let's click on the second point. Click on G again. And here you are. This is the path that has been formed for the cube to animate. Let's switch back to the object mode. Here you are. So now we need to relate the cube to this particular path. Let us click on the cube. So now the cube has been highlighted. Let us now move to relations. Can you see over here? There's a tab called relations. Let's click on that. And there is something known as an eyedropper over here. So when you click on this, we need to choose the path. You can see there is something called object light that's being highlighted over here. So we need to choose this particular object, that's object nubs path. Let's click on that and see. You can see the cube just moved towards the path, which means the cube is going to travel along with the path now. So after this, let us now click on the path. Here you can see the green icon, that is the object properties. Here, to animate the cube, we need to click on the object properties, object data properties, and expand the path animation tab. Over here, you can see there are two things, that is frames and evaluation, that we need to concentrate on. Let us now drag this particular tab, which is hiding below, to provide the keyframes, that is the path to the cube. So, first and foremost, you can see over here, frames are equal to 100 and the valuation is 0, that is the starting point of the cube. So, keep your mouse at the evaluation time and click on I. I will help you to insert the keyframe. So, we click on I. You can see it has become yellow in color, and in the bottom panel, there is a diamond that takes place. That is the starting point, an initial point for the cube. Let us then move the keyframe from 1 to 60, okay, and increase the evaluation from 0 to, let's increase it to, let's say this particular position, that's 62, and then place your mouse on the evaluation time and click on I again. So you can see another diamond has been inserted at the keyframe 59. So let us increase the keyframe from 59 to 100, okay, and increase the evaluation from 62 to another number. We've raised it to 104 and then again click I. So here we are. Let us now run the animation. Can you see? When you click on play button over here, the cube moves as per the animation that we have given. So students, where do you think that this animation can take place? How about having a snowfall around the Christmas tree? So what have you learned today? Today, we learned merging of two objects in order to make the Christmas tree, and we used a cube for animation. If you have any queries with regards to merging of objects, do let us know. Don't forget to join us for the Day 3 Bootcamp and join the competition, that is Blender Nationthon. Thank you.
Hey everyone, hope you're having great fun in this 6 days Blender Bootcamp. On day 1, we had learned how to create simple shapes, right? And also applied translation, rotation and scaling on these simple shapes. We were eager to know how many of you could do it by yourself, and therefore we had shared a form on our CARES Goa portal and also in the description of the videos, inviting you to share your imaginative creations. And we were blown away to see your marvelous work. It speaks volumes about your talent and your innovative drive. Hats off to you guys and your imagination. It's amazing. Now, today we have completed the day 2 bootcamp and we have learned to create some animations in Blender. Why not apply them in your real world scenario and capture this real world scenario in your Blender, create a project and share it with us through the form that is shared in the description below and also on our CARES Goa portal. If you have not understood any of the topics of day 1 and day 2 or day 3, the videos will be available on our YouTube channel CARES Goa. You can visit the videos as and when you want, and you can learn the concepts again and apply them to create your projects. The project management unit under the coding and robotics scheme is bringing a national level competition to make you shine on a national stage. The name of the competition is Blender Nationthon. It is a platform where you can take your creativity, your skills, and your imagination to new heights. Think about it. You have learned the tool, you have learned the technology. Now you have a chance to apply them to the real world scenario. Middle school students from class 6, 7, and 8, this is a moment for you guys to let your artistry shine. So please do participate in this national level competition, which is divided into 3 thrilling levels. The first is the national level, but for qualifying for the national level, you have to qualify for the state level, and for qualifying for the state level, you have to qualify for the national taluka level. So at taluka level, you will be having different theme, and at state level also you will have different theme. So prepare yourself based on the themes which I'm going to show you now. So at the taluka level, only the best two entries will be picked up and they will be able to compete at the state level. At the state level, as the stage widens, the competition also get tougher and yeah, only three students from each state will emerge as winners. Then we have the national level where students from different states, okay, from different regions will be participating, and only three top contenders, three top projects will be the national level winners. So please do participate in the national level competition and think about how you're going to implement these themes. So at taluka level, the themes are cartoon animation and wildlife awareness. So after qualifying for the taluka level, you will be competing at state level, wherein you will have to create your imagination and create awareness about deforestation and global warming. Next, at the state level, after state level comes the national level, wherein the themes get little bit tougher, and you have to present your Blender project on traffic awareness, women and child safety, and My Dream Pathshala. You must be thinking, right, that my school should be something different. You will have some different dream about your school. So you can paint your dream, you can create your dream Pathshala in Blender, and you can showcase your talent. So what are you waiting for? Start practicing, okay, by going through our videos and learning it thoroughly. You can also dream about being the top three. The national level champions will be the top three winners. So you can dream about being this national level winner. So what are you waiting for? You will be winning not just the title, but also exciting prizes. Also, you will stand a chance to represent your state, your school, and your creativity at a national level. We are also going to give you a chance to visit Educational Expo. So for more details, you can visit our website cares.goa.gov.in. You can scan this QR code and get on this website for more details and for registration. So we are hoping that you are enjoying this bootcamp, and this bootcamp is specially designed to help you for participating for this national level competitions. Your dreams are your biggest assets, and we are here to make your dreams come true. So, let us begin this journey of creating a different world by your imagination.